Hi there, join me in this video when I'm at Brockholes Nature Reserve in Lancashire. This is my first time visiting Brockholes Nature Reserve. It's situated just outside Preston in Lancashire, and judging by the visitor centre, it's quite elaborate. It's a very quirky and quite large visitor centre, and there's a couple of quite large lakes. Now, possibly in the background you'll hear the motorway because it is literally just off junction 31 of the M6, so it's very accessible. But hopefully I'll see lots of birds today, get some good photos, but I know that I'm really going to enjoy my photography. I've just heard some bird noise from this platform here at the top of some steps, and I came up and there were a couple of wrens just sat on some fencing just here at the top of the steps. Now unfortunately they were completely backlit by the sun, so they might be quite silhouetted, but hopefully I should be able to lift the shadows a little bit in the computer and get a reasonable photograph. Now they have flown off into this woodland here behind me, so I can still hear them, so there might still be a chance of getting some photographs. Now I've come into a hide at the side of the lake, but unfortunately the reeds in between here and the edge of the lake are quite tall, so it doesn't give a very good view. Because these apertures here are quite low on this hide, I can't really see very much. I've seen some mute swans and some Canada geese, a coot, and some other kind of birds that I haven't been able to identify just yet because the reeds are in the way. So hopefully I might be able to get myself into a slightly better position to take some photos of these birds behind me, but at the moment, because of these reeds at the edge, I don't think I'm going to get very good photographs from here. I've come a little bit further up the path to get a bit higher than I was in the hide, and I can now see over to an island in the middle of this lake. There are some lapwing, quite a few in fact, on that island, but it is quite a long distance away, and the reeds are still blowing in front at some points as well, so I'm really struggling. At the moment I've just got a 400mm reach on this zoom lens. Now hopefully before too long I should be supplementing this lens with the 180 to 600mm lens, and so that'll give me a little bit more reach and help me out in situations like this. Now if this is your first time visiting the channel, then do consider doing me a really big favour by clicking the like, subscribe and the bell notifications, because not only does it help the channel to grow, but it also ensures that you don't miss out on any of my future photographic content. This little bit of an offshoot comes down a little bit closer to the lake, and I've walked down here and I just photographed some birds in flight thinking that they were black-headed gulls. It turns out when I look at them on the back of the camera that they're actually terns. Well, I'm not sure how much your microphones is picking up the road noise from the M6 here behind me, which is one of the busiest motorways in the country. You can see one of the lights just here. That's how close we are to the motorway. Now, it doesn't seem to be bothering the birds at all, but what it is doing is it's making it really difficult to listen for the bird noise. Over to my right, there are some birds chirping, and I can see one moving about now in the trees, but it's very difficult to identify them because of the dominant background noise coming from the motorway, which is not very far away to my left hand side. Just look at this juxtaposition here. You can see the motorway travelling there in the background, but if we turn around into this hide and come out through this window, we've got a completely different scene, very tranquil and very beautiful. The path has turned through some woodland just here, and we've got some lovely sunlight coming through and dappling the floor. But just to make sure that I get the photograph should I see a bird, I've turned the ISO up to 2000 just to give me a good chance in this slightly lower lighting condition. And I'm happy to do that based on the experiment I've just done, pushing the ISO. And if you want to see that, I'll put a link down below in the description. But at the moment, I've not actually seen any birds other than one blackbird that took off. I have been hearing quite a few birds, mainly robins, but hopefully if I take my time and keep listening, I should see something. Well, I knew given a bit of patience that I would see some birds in this woodland. Now, as luck would have it, there's a bench just here, and it looks like somebody has put some seed down in this little log here behind me. Now, it does say in the information that you're not supposed to feed the birds, and I haven't, so it's not my seed, but somebody else has. So I did notice as I got to this area there were a lot more birds, a lot more activity, and since I've been here I've seen a nuthatch, a dunnock, a blue tit, and a very, very friendly great tit that came onto the floor below my feet and got within about 1.5 meters of me before I moved away and let it carry on with its feeding. And so this has been quite productive in this area here, and I'm going to stay here a little bit longer to see if I can get a few more photographs. I've come down to a path that runs alongside the River Ribble, so I should stand a little bit of chance of seeing some slightly different birds that frequent the sides of the riverbanks. Unfortunately, there wasn't a great deal to see on the river. I did get some shots of a few mallard and some black-headed gulls, and some of them in flight as well, so it wasn't completely useless, but there wasn't anything spectacular. So I've just spent about 10 minutes photographing some birds that were flying behind me over this lake here. Now according to this sign they're sand martins, so I'm going to take that just on its face value at the moment, and I've tried capturing them as they've been buzzing around. Now it's quite difficult because they're quite erratic in their movements, so what I've done is I've put the camera into burst mode and then used a wide large box to narrow the focus down just to try and get the birds within the that focus box. Now sometimes I think the focus tracking has just missed, so it could be a little bit of luck, but hopefully I should have something. Well, that's been a great end to the morning. I've really enjoyed myself, as well as some sand martins in flight. I got a bonus of a kestrel flying over as well, and I got a photograph of that. So what I'll do now is I'll leave you with some of my favourite shots from the morning. Well, I've had a lovely time here at Brockholes. Who would have thought that just 30 years ago this whole area was just a quarry? It's been reclaimed for wildlife beautifully by the Lancashire, Manchester and North Merseyside Wildlife Trust, and it's given lots of birds and other animals a really good habitat. I've gone away with some really nice pictures and I've really enjoyed myself. Well, if you have enjoyed this video, do let me know down below in the comments, and nip over to my Instagram or Vero account, that's at Darrell Oakden Photography. Leave me your comments there and you can also see lots of my photographs. Now if you like what I do on the channel and want to help support me to make future content like this, then you can leave via the gift shop. That's at Teespring. There I've got a range of merchandise on offer, so head off over there because a purchase really does help me out and it's very much appreciated. But you don't have to spend any money at all to support the channel. You can do that simply by clicking like, subscribe and the bell notifications. It really helps me out and it makes sure that you don't miss out on any future content. Watch out for next week's video, that goes live on Sunday. In the meantime, go and check out this video just up here, but all that's left now is to say stay safe and I'll see you soon.